Hi guys, welcome back to a brand new video. So I will be doing now the Trump best case scenario for 2020. So let's just add our candidates here and then we can start doing this map real quick. So we'll start on the western seaboard. I know I usually start on the eastern seaboard, but that's only when I'm calling the states when I'm doing candidate by candidate. I just prefer to do it west to east in cases of like when I'm calling the states as I see them this way. So California would still be safe blue. Washington would be likely blue in this case, and I see Oregon. Oregon would be lean blue. I don't see Trump picking it off. I really can't see it realistically. I mean, maybe if it's Bill de Blasio, but if Bill de Blasio is not a generic Democrat, AOC is not a generic Democrat, Ilhan Omar is not the generic Democrat. It's basically, this is the best case of him, of combination of Biden, Sanders, Warren, Harris, all people I think he'll beat. I think Nevada would lean to him in this case. Arizona would be likely. Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, the Dakotas, and all of Nebraska except that 2nd district would be safe. That 2nd district, which is basically Omaha, would be likely. Kansas, Ohio, and Texas would all be safe. Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina would all be safe as well as Indiana. Georgia, on the other hand, would just be likely. Same thing with North Carolina. Iowa and Ohio would be safe in this scenario. I've talked about Iowa turning into Nebraska. I've talked about Ohio turning into Indiana. It's very possible that this happens. Illinois would probably be, in this case, I guess I could give it likely, but I think it'd still be safe. Same thing with New York. Vermont, Massachusetts. Rhode Island would be lean. And why do I say Rhode Island's lean? Well, it went for Obama by 27 over Romney. It went for Hillary by roughly 14. If that trend continues, it'll go for the Democrat by roughly around 5 points. The best case scenario, you got to watch the trends. The trends are very, very important. Connecticut would be likely as well as New Jersey. Delaware I'd put as safe. Maybe it'd be likely if Biden wasn't in the mix. Maryland and D.C. would both be safe for the Democrats in this scenario as well. New Mexico would tilt to Trump. Imagine he improves on his Hispanic voter standing by roughly 4 or 5 points or so, as well as he has enthused Native American voters, other polls have indicated, especially in like the populations in the Dakotas and then Montana. Especially if he's running against Warren, he definitely can pull off New Mexico. Colorado would also lean to him as well as Virginia in his best case scenario. Imagine if there's another blackface scandal in their Senate race or something like that. That could definitely just get the people disgusted at Democrats in that state. Alaska would be safe. Wisconsin would be likely in this case. I think Wisconsin's really trending red. Michigan would still lean, and Pennsylvania would lean. Maybe if Biden wasn't in the mix, I'd put it as likely. New Hampshire would lean. Maine at large would lean. Maine's second would be safe, and Maine's at first would be likely, not safe in this case. Minnesota would lean red as well. Trump would have won. If Trump won Minnesota, he almost won Minnesota. If McMullen was not on the ballot, it's very possible Trump would have picked off Minnesota, and that would have just spun the media into an epic tailspin as well. But he only got like 45% of the vote there, so I'm not going to put it in the likely column, even though it's trended significantly. Same thing with Michigan and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, you don't want to underestimate him no matter what in 2020, just simply for the fact that he definitely has a lot of pull there in the western part of the state. And total of turnout went up over 2012. Michigan and Wisconsin went down. Pennsylvania went up, and he won it by a wider margin than the other states. Even though I think Pennsylvania will vote to the left of Wisconsin in the real scenario, it's just an interesting tidbit of information that I don't think the Democrats will win Pennsylvania. Biden's their best bet, but even with Biden, I think Trump can still beat him in Pennsylvania. In my other prediction of Biden, I had it in the toss-up category. Florida, Florida would be likely. Why do I say Florida would be likely? Well, the national environment was D+8 in this House midterm elections, and it still voted Republican in the House by 5 points. That would be a almost 14-point swing. But then you got to take into consideration the fact that some Democratic Party did not run candidates in certain races. So when I did all the math, it seemed like Republicans +1 was the actual popular vote. So it still is an R+9 over the national environment. It's very possible that Trump can win the state by more than 5, putting it in the likely column. And obviously, I think that Hawaii would be safe as well. So this is basically what I have for 2020. It's a Trump 355. The Democrat would have 183. And it's very possible if there's some crazy war that happens over the next 2 years, this map could be all red. I don't really see it being all blue unless there's some serious scandal going on with Trump. But I think a lot of that is past. I think that Trump is in a very good shape for 2020. I don't think the map will be this good. I do think he's got a very good shot to win it by a margin within 15, plus or minus 15 of what he did in 2016. I think 326 as a high point, a realistic high point. 294 being a realistic lower point. I think 355 to 183 would be his realistic ceiling, however. But alright guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video, comment, and subscribe to get me to 4,000. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media and donate to my Patreon. Links are in description. And thanks again for watching, guys. Red Eagle, out.